Good evening. Hello, everybody. Good evening, depending on where you are. If you're pro Manhattan, it's not quite evening yet, but it is evening here. Let me see. Yeah, it's dark. Oh, let me turn off that. Oh, wow. Suna Girl. Hey, Leanne. All right. Stevie. All right. First off, I'm going to greet everybody shortly, but I wanted to say, I'm sorry, I got a frog in my throat. Um, oh, it's already getting dark there. Excuse me. So, welcome to the show. Wow. All right. I'm going to get a couple things right off right away, which is in February, I'm launching a live stream. It is sort of a virtual TV guide, and I will do it a lot. And my concern is it's the kind of thing that if you don't understand where I'm coming from, you might think, why is he doing this? And that's what I'm going to explain tonight. But basically, I'll be going live more often with this Who's Live Streaming. And I wanted to share a little bit more about that. But before I do, I want to greet the chat. So, Scott Schur, nice to see you as always, my good friend. Tony, Phantasmic Chronicles, good to see you. Tina, our good friend Tina, Supermod, and she can't remember Horizons. Um, but yeah, it was a great ride. And Carol, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Pearl Manhattan, nice to see you. Changing her show to Monday nights. And who else do we got here? We have my good friend Leanne, Sooner Girl Travels. Thank you for being here, Leanne. And Stevie Lee, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Catherine Wilby, it's awesome to see you as well. Thank you. Lisa, it's Joey's World. Nice to see you. Lisa, Joey, Keith, good to have you here. All right, let's see. All right. Well, so I'm going to explain what this new show is about, but it'll probably take me 10 minutes at best. If you have questions, great. And then I'm going to get into the Disney aspect. I have a little something prepared. If you didn't see in the chat, hey, we got Dean the Turkey Legster here. Nice to have you here. Thanks for swinging by. Nice name, by the way. All right. Leanne says she never had the chance to ride Horizons. Well, obviously for some of us it was our favorite ride ever, but we'll talk more about that. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Okay. So here, let me go to the next slide. If you've seen lately, I've gone live a few times, and what it is this. It's basically, you'll see on the left-hand side, I have a schedule of today's events. And so this is up to date. These are the events that typically happen on a Sunday. Streamers don't always go live, things happen, but this is the normal schedule. And if you've ever gone to Disney World, Timothy Rainwaters, good to have you here. All right. We got Timothy in the house. And so if you've ever gone to Disney and stayed on property, you go into the hotel and you turn on the TV, the first thing you're going to see is sort of a schedule of things happening at Disney to very cool music. And so what I did was I sort of took that concept and worked it into for the live plays. And so my intention in February is to start to test this a little bit more and basically always feature live streamers in the main window. As you see now, I have Worldscape Scenery because they always have a Disney live stream going on, and it's just showing past videos, so it's not truly live, but it is done in a live format. And hey, Tyler, good to have you here. Tyler in the house. And so that's it. So ultimately, here's the statement that hopefully will kind of land on you. The goal, all right, I'll look at the camera. The goal is to have a live stream going all the time, a perpetual live stream. And that might annoy some people because you're going to think, why is this guy got this live stream going all the time with the same kinds of information? Because the goal for me in 2022 is to try to grow the channel some and make it something valuable where you'll swing by, you'll get some information that you didn't know, and you'll be able to use it or not. It's not the kind of live stream you would stay long for unless there's just nobody else live and people want to hang out. But that's what it is. It's just going to be taking the live plays a little step further for me. And so I've got some different kinds of slides. If you saw on Saturday, um, I was featuring 4 live streamers at once that were all in the Disney parks. Diz Our Dream, Mouse Talk, Myers and the Mouse, and Resort TV One. They were all live at the same time. Pearl brings up a great point. Also makes for good background. That is a very important part of this live stream, is that I'm playing the Disney music, which I've tested enough to know it's okay. They're not calling me on it. I'm not getting copyright strikes, etc. Francisco, good to have you here. And thank you, Lisa, for that. Hey, Carla and Kiko Adventures, nice to have you here. Good to see you. All right, so there you go. Does anybody have any questions? I'll sum it up. Hi, Carol. I think I hopefully I said hi earlier. Good to see you. Oh, you're probably saying hi to Dean the Turkey Legster. Do we got somebody else coming in? No, we don't. Okay. All right. It's somebody trying to come in on the link. I know that's dangerous when you share the link. If anybody wants to join me that I know, I'll let you in. A troll just tried to get in. So, all right. Dre Houston, nice to have you here. Awesome. Good to see you, Dre. All right. Thank you, Leanne. I appreciate that. Unfortunately for me, my ideas tend to be a little heady and sometimes they don't hit the mark. And that's exactly why I decided let's just take this night. And I'll take 10 minutes to explain what I'm doing, and then we'll get into the Disney aspect. So, again, a live stream that I'll start to do more often in February. It'll be featuring live streamers. There'll always be a link pinned in the chat, and the schedule on the left-hand side. And then I'll have some news items as I get those, which will be about your live streams, as in Pearl Manhattan changing to Monday nights, or Dole Whip Dad starting a new Wednesday night show. So anyway, great to have you all here. All right. Let me just see. Thank you, Dean. I appreciate that. So if you've watched YouTube, you may have seen. Hey, Space Mountain Dave, good to have you here. If you've seen that there's perpetual live streams going on. Do this sometime. Go to YouTube and type in Disney World, and then go to the special filter option in the top right and find only give me live streams. Now you might see one of the ones I mentioned earlier. You might see Drew in the Moment, or you might see somebody you never knew. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is kind of become that, showing you some new, new live streamers that you don't necessarily know. All right, yada yada. I went enough. Oh, and then the other thing that I'm going to be doing. Whoa, that was kind of loud. I'm going to be doing 15 minutes of fame, which is I took the statement, the 15 minutes of fame thing, and I'm going to interview people for a segment each night. That's something that I'm going to work into it. So I will have guests on where, whatever. We'll have a guest on, and the viewers will ask them questions. I will ask them questions. Just a way to get to know new live streamers. I always tell myself, don't overtalk this. And then I do. Someone I never knew, is that possible? Might might be, you never know. I spend like a lot of time looking for live streamers, and obviously not all Disney related. So, but Tina, you do know a lot of people. So, all right, let's go back to this. Thanks for all swinging in. All right, so, and then live stream raiders is just simply the idea that if you're coming to my site and you're trying to find other live streamers, we're kind of going to raid those live streams. So made this cute little font in the Raiders of the Lost Ark font, and we'll work with that one as well. All right, guys, let's divert and let's talk a little bit of Disney here. So if you're interested in what I've got planned here, I'm simply going to. Oh, by the way, well, let's go through a few things. Anybody got any thoughts about that? We talked about it yesterday, but uh, I put it for your comments. Anyone who needs to get anything off their chest, there you go. There it is, the $25 Figment popcorn uh, shenanigans, which you all know what happened, I'm sure. Uh, yeah, Leanne, I remember that when we did do some live stream rating, and hopefully we'll do more in 2022. But I'm throwing out the popcorn box just for anybody to make comments. If you, yeah, Tina's saying I want one. Dre, appropriate. We're all in agreement. Tina, I want one, but not 7.5. I did her. I heard 6.5, but I'm not surprised. It's crazy. Um, but I know this has been talked about a lot, and so we can move on, right? I will entertain your comments if you have any further ones. Coming up this week is movie week, so we've got okay, well okay, that's we got a little delay here, so let's get this comments up here. Stevie Lee says, I don't get why people are going live to complain about it when they are not even in the parks. Yeah, you got a point there. It's probably overtalked, but I think that the turnoff has been the eBay part and the exorbitant prices. Dave says he wants Figment. It looks cool. It'd be something that would be nice to have, but who's going to pay $300 for it? Dean says, I'm glad they're not selling those at the turkey leg place. Line would be too long. Right. uh, whoops, sorry. Carol says, cute, but not worth a long wait or paying a pirate. Yeah. I did hear about the pirates. Dre agrees. Thank you, Dre. Um, I hope all the pirates get stuck with the, the ones that they don't sell. Yeah. Well, yeah. I wonder. I saw some listed at like 600. I think I saw one listed at 1100. Um, Yeah, there you go, Pearl. I have no public comment on the whole popcorn bucket thing. It's a choice. Yeah, I suppose if people want to buy it, then that's their prerogative. All right, let's go on to the next thing here, which is all right. I thought I would try this. We got 17 people on. Paul Engel, nice to have you in the house. Welcome. So I am going to put up Disney rides. This is I'm backing off this live stream topic, and I'm just going to do something fun. And that is to bring up some Disney rides and simply ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like it? And if you like that idea, stick around. Um, and so we'll see, I think, by the end, which rides are kind of the favorites based on our ratings. And remember, everybody has a different opinion. And if some, yeah, all right, thanks, Stevie Lee. She put a 7 out there. Buzz Lightyear, I'm going to put it at, I think I'm going to give it a 7 as well. You know what? That's about right for me. Dave really likes it, puts it at a 10. So I'm going to go through a number of rides. Just go ahead and put your ranking in there. And if you have any comments, let me know. If it's your favorite ride, let us know. If you don't like it, you can let us know that too. Carol says 9. All right, let's get these comments up here. So Stevie Lee says 7. Dave says a 10. That's really cool. Carol says 9. 8 for Pearl. Lisa, whoop, jumped. Lisa says 7. Paul Engel 8. Tina 8. Um, and they need to work on those lasers. I know. I think that's my excuse. Deborah, nice to have you here. She says 7. Tina says, I am the same way, never buying from eBay. Dean the Turkey Legsters is about a 6.5. He's going to say. Leanne 8. Dre Houston 8. All right. Let me see how well I'm caught up. I am caught up. Cool. All right. So like I say, I think I'm at a 7 on that one as well. So let's go to the next ride. Maybe I should enter one of these in. All right. We're going to what in the bloomin' do you call the car ride? I remember it used to be Autopia. Somebody help me out here. Oh, Tomorrowland Speedway. Psh, getting old here. Um, Tomorrowland Speedway, I'm going to give that. I'm going to be harsh on this one because I've always thought the steering mechanism should have been improved. I think they're very hard to control. Yeah, Carol, she's at a 5. I'm going a 3 on this one. I just think they need to improve the cars. Dave's at a 7. Leanne says 4. Stevie Lee says 4. Timothy Rainwater's at a 5. So I think we're seeing a pattern here. Tina at a 5. Paul Engel 3. I'm with you, Paul. So frustrating. And plus, one of and I mean, it's a great ride. I mean, when I was a kid, that was the ride I wanted to do more than any other ride. And then I was disappointed with it, but I loved Pirates. Um, Lisa says 5 for adults, 7 if you're under 10. Yeah, I'm sure for under 10 you're on cloud 9. 3, it's a scaled down go-kart. Yeah, and frustrating because you get behind people. Scott sure says 4. So yeah, and that's the thing, Tina, is well, adults ride that thing, and I just think they need to redo that. And I've heard that they'd planned on doing that, but they never have. Okay, what's next? Stevie Lee says it needs an overhaul. I agree. All right, next ride is Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom. I have to tell you a little story. Well, it's very little, but I went on this ride before it opened to the public. In fact, I was invited into Animal Kingdom by a friend's daughter who was working there, and I worked with him. And I got there for a cast preview day, and I got to go on this ride, and it broke down like 3 times as we were in line, but we finally got on it. All right, Dinosaur, we've got Carol at 6. We've got Tina, who says 8, or as Jeff would say, 8.2. 6, says Pearl, intense, but good seats. Yeah, it is very intense. Okay, Lisa's 3 for me, 10 for my chiropractor. Yeah, exactly. Um, Stevie Lee says 5. I don't think I've seen it on stream, and that's the only way I've experienced these rides, so I don't know. Yeah, it's what gets me about that ride is when you see small kids on it. It's very intense. It's loud. It's very in your face, as you can see from the picture. Um, I'm not sure I would bring a 4 or 5-year-old child on that ride, or 6 or whatever they. It's got a height thing, but I think that they let some pretty young kids on that ride. So, all right, going next. All right, Expedition Everest, and I'm gonna go and just add mine to the comments. And I love Expedition Everest, and I put that at a 9. Not even sure why I wouldn't say a 10. Um, there's just something about Expedition Everest, even just as it starts, it kind of gradually starts. We got definitely a favorable. We got Tina at 9, Stevie Lee at 7, Paul Engel at 9. We got Dre Houston at 10. I'm kind of thinking, why didn't I say 10? Pearl says son gives it a 10. I didn't ride it, but he loved it. It's a great roller coaster. Carol says 10, so much fun with my girls every time. Yeah. Now here we've got the expert on roller coasters, and so Dave is saying a 10, and I could be persuaded to say a 10 as well. Tina says, me too, it's a perfect roller coaster. You know the part that gets me on, and Joey's World says, Joey 10, Lisa 0. Broke my foot when I got off. Too dizzy. No way. Oh, man. I did not know that. Ouch. Scott is saying 2, not for me. I'm glad that, yeah, please give your honest evaluation. And I know Scott will be very honest. I appreciate it about him. But yeah, that's too bad, Lisa. I never knew that. All right. Next ride. Oh, and the part of Expedition I really like is, hey, we got Mike Wheeler here. Hey, Mike, good to have you here. Everybody welcome Mike in. Leanne says, never ride it when I'm there, not into coasters. Oh, I didn't know that, Leanne. Huh, I'm kind of surprised. All right. Oh, the chat just jumped. So, scooter. Okay. So I like the part where it's turning, and it just seems like it never stops turning at the end, and that's when you feel the most intensity of that ride. I really like roller coasters. I won't go crazy and do the craziest ones in the world, like probably Space Mountain Dave would, but um, I do love Space Mountain. I do love Expedition Everest. I like a Disney level of roller coaster, not a Six Flags. How about that? All right, I'm going to the next one. Leanne says that Jerry rides by himself when it comes to coasters. Huh. Not the daughters either, huh? Huh. Okay, next ride. The Millennium Falcon. What do you call the Millennium Falcon ride? Why can't I think of it? Stevie Lee says, I would not ride it either, Leanne. Roller coasters scare me. My rating is based off videos. Would not ride in real life. Yeah, you're either into it or you're not. Um, and Dave agrees. Okay, I'm blanking Smuggler's Run. Thank you, Dave. Okay, Smuggler's Run. What do you rate? And I'm gonna go against the flow a little bit on this one. I think I'm gonna say I say 7. Okay, so we've got Scott Shirt coming in with a 9. Leanne says yes, the girls will ride if they are with us. Oh, okay. Dave says 10 on Smuggler's Run. I'm guessing Dave is probably good at it, and maybe that's part of my frustration is I was terrible at it. We did terrible. Carol will ride it in 2023. Okay. Stevie Lee says not a Star Wars fan. Don't think I would enjoy it. She gave it a 1. Lisa's saying a 7. Did I miss somebody? Oh, Arthur. Hey, if I missed you earlier, I apologize. So Lisa said 7. Paul is a 10. He loves it. Awesome. Never ridden it, says Tina. Seems great, though. I'll give it an 8 from live streams. Okay. Oh, Dave, you did terrible, but you love it. Oh, cool. Well, maybe it's the ride that you just get to, you got to do a lot, but it is a great experience. The queue is awesome. The experience is awesome. The special effects are amazing. But I don't know. For me, simulation rides where you're getting projected something in front of you, they're starting to get a little bit old. I like the thrill of real movement, being on Space Mountain or Expedition Everest. I would prefer that kind of a ride. All right. And the next is let's go over to Epcot and let's talk about Figment. And when I'm talking Figment, I'm talking the current Figment. So I am going to give the current Figment, I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to say 5. How many of you like the current Figment? How many of you preferred one of the first two? Specifically the first one. I think the first one is people's favorites by far. Carol says 7. Stevie Lee says 6. I think it's okay from what I've seen. 5 for Lisa. 5 for the AC. Yeah, exactly. And being able to sit down. Dave says 10. Love it. Never gets old for. Awesome. That's really cool to hear because I know that some people are disappointed with it. 8. It's the only Figment I know. Oh, really, Leanne? If you've seen the videos of the first one, a lot of people feel that was the best one. Pearl says 9 from me and the boy, but I missed the original one. Yeah, the original one was definitely better. Dre says 8. My grandchildren loved it. I love the old one, says Dre. I did too. And Tina says very clearly, I want the original Figment back. I give this one a 5, but the original gets a 10. I'd be the same. Yeah, maybe I give the original about a 9, but I would say the current one I'd give it about a 5. Paul as well as saying a 5. So, okay. Let's go to the next one. Flight of Passage. Who has been on it? Who's not been on it? I have been on it 2 times, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I actually think it gets better every time. I'm going to give it a 9. It's amazing. I know my brother Epcot Bob is a little hesitant because of the kind of its simulation. If you remember the old rides, well, like Star Tours or Body Wars, Body Wars specifically, that's the kind of ride that can give us motion sickness. But Flight of Passage, I didn't have a hard time with. So Carol says 9, Dre says 10, Lisa 9, Pearl 8, Paul, you haven't been on it yet. Oh, you got to get on that, Paul. Leanne, well, never wrote it, but it's Jerry's favorite. He stood in line for 3 hours. Holy buckets. 10 for Jerry. Yep. I would say, Leanne, you've got to make an effort to get on that. Excuse me, get on that ride. It's pretty amazing. I know for some people it's their favorite ride. If I remember right, Arjan's, I think it's his favorite ride. Tina says 9. Stevie Lee 6. I agree with your brother Bob. Yeah, I got to be a little careful on those kinds of rides too. But yeah, very cool. All right. Next ride is Frozen. So replace Maelstrom. Gonna be honest, because of my age and so forth, I'm definitely would have preferred to still have Maelstrom, but Frozen is done well, and so I get it. But I'm gonna give Frozen. I'll go a little bit lower than probably most people. I gave it a 6. Hmm. Okay, we have Stevie Lee, 5, not really a fan of Frozen. Yep, about the same for me. Pearl Manhattan, 6. Dre likes it at an 8. Um, Tina, 6.7. Preferred Maelstrom. I'd be the same. Carol says 6, but my youngest would give it a 10. Yeah, that's understandable. They like the movie. Lisa, 8, because Joey loves singing in there. Oh, does he? Have you recorded that by any chance, Lisa? Because that'd be fun to see. And Dave is saying an 8. I think that Frozen is would be better to me if I had never seen Maelstrom. So Leanne says liked Maelstrom, so she gives it a 6. And yes, exactly, Dre, taking the grandchildren into consideration. And what better thing is there than to see your grandchildren or your children enjoying it? So I agree. All right. Timothy Rainwater's at a 6. All right. Next ride. Haunted Mansion. What do you think about the Haunted Mansion? Is there anybody in this community who has not been on the Haunted Mansion? Um, Nathan Retta, nice to have you here. What we're doing, Nathan, is we're just killing some time. I noticed nobody else was really live at this point, unless I got that wrong. I think Pete was live, but I don't know. He was finishing up one football game and I think about to do another. So, yeah, here we go. We've got 10 from Timothy Rainwaters. Dave with the 10 plus plus plus, yes. Tina, 10, favorite ride. Pearl, 10. Scott Schur coming in at a 6. All right. Stevie Lee says 8 looks like fun. I haven't been on any, Dean. Oh, well, then Stevie Lee, you got to get there. Um, Carol says 10. Love it as much now as I did when I was 6. Yeah. So many people would say Haunted Mansion is their favorite. Um, I haven't yet been on Haunted Mansion. Okay, Paul, if I remember, but you're going, right? So, obviously that's a big one to get on. Oh, Maria is live right now. Okay, LBV is on. 9, but would be a 10. Oh, let me put it up here. If they didn't have the cattle herd when you get out of the stretching room. Why don't I know what that is? I never said for me. Uh, for me, Haunted Mansion would be about a 7. It's great. It's done great. It's just not my favorite dark ride attraction for whatever reason. Leanne says 2, not my favorite, but I don't like scary stuff. Yeah. In fact, when our kids were young, we didn't have them go on it, just not knowing how they would react to it. And then they never wanted to go on it when they were older. Um, all right. Jungle Safari. How do people feel about the Jungle Safari? Am I saying that right? The Jungle Cruise, sorry. That didn't sound right. The Jungle Cruise. I'm gonna go ahead and go on a ledge and I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna say 9 and I could say 10. Pearl coming in at a 10. Oh, Nerd Herders are live? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Um, so Pearl says 10. Leanne says 8. I'm at a 9. And the reason I give it higher is because of the guides that you get. They really up their quality. I felt like I feel like they're funny. They make those cruises worth going on. Timothy says 7. Stevie Lee's at a 6, and Dave again coming in with the high 10. Lisa's at a 9. Um, and Scott sure not sure he likes Jungle Cruise, so he's down with a 1. Oh, that's awesome, man. Carol says 9. Depending on the skipper and fellow riders on the boat. Exactly. If you get a good skipper, it's all the difference in the world. And oh, my thing jumped here. Let's see. Dave says, "Have to admit, I'm live Disney through and through. So I lived so kind of single-minded. Hey, that's what we like to see. Is just being honest, and you love Disney and love the rides. I love your attitude." Um, Leanne says the guide makes or breaks your experience on the ride. I agree with that. Paul coming in at a 7, Dre at a 9. When am the only one laughing. I know what you mean. I've done that. uh, yeah, I know what you meant. All right, cool. So pretty favorable. I'm gonna have to go back and see which one did we like the most. I think Haunted Mansion came in pretty high. Timothy would say a 7. It really depends on the skipper. Yeah, exactly. Okay, next one. The laugh floor. Um, I'm gonna jump in there and give my feelings. I gave it a 10. I think the laugh floor is amazing. I'll tell you why I love it so much. All of the pre-recorded when you get to the Roz and when you get to Mike, um, it's it's the same stuff every time, so I don't care about that. It's those ones that are the comedians, the improv comedians behind those ones that do the stand up and interact with the crowd. I love it. I think they're hilarious. I see this one is coming in relatively low. So we got Day. Oh, hey, Movie Mania Nick. Nice to have you here. Um, so here we go. The chat went fast. Good to have you here, Nick. Uh, Dave coming in at a 7, Leanne down at a 3, Pearl at a 2. Lisa saying 10. It's a must do for us. Yep, me too. I just love it. It can be different every time, and that's one of the things I like about it. Carol coming in at an 8, Dre 10. Nice. Same with me. We've got Dave Houston here. Awesome. Good to have you here, Dave. Coming in with a 7. Yep. How are the Packers doing? Have they played yet in the playoffs? I should know this. I think Scott is just saying a 9, so he likes it. Stevie Lee 9, always a good time. The stream I moderate for normal gets their jokes in. It's fun to know people from the chat that got it in. Yeah, Dre agreeing. Paul Engel at an 8. 8. Timothy saying we don't always go to it, but I laugh so hard when I do. I'll watch people do it in a live stream because I just think you get a chance to see something you never seen before. I remember Resort TV One was in there once and they picked on Josh, and that was a riot. All right. Oh, so Jerry was that guy once and got a pin afterwards. Oh, fun. So they kind of could look at Jerry and say, "Here's a guy we can tease." They've never done that for me. All right. Living with the land. Living with the land. Over there in Epcot. How do y'all like it? If you know me, you already know how I feel about it. Leanne will know. I'm sure a few of you know. Dave gives it a 10. Nick says the improv in Laugh Floor is funny. I love improv. By the way, since you mentioned it, Nick, I've looked for live streamers that do improv in a live stream and kind of react with the crowd. I don't think anybody's done it really well yet. Not like you see at the Laugh Floor. So Dave says 10, Stevie Lee says 8, Dre at 10, Carol at 10 plus 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 loves it. Lisa at 9. Yes, Leanne 10 plus. Scott at a 7. Dave loves the experience. Leanne says 7. Our Pearl says it's a nice peaceful ride, but lacking any fun. Yeah, it's not the. It's certainly not a thrill ride. So it is my favorite ride. I would say it's been my favorite attraction for a number of years, three or 4 years, and it just finally landed on me that I'm happiest in that ride. So um, Dave is still working on his streams. We have not yet, Nick, and I think I've got it in there. And Timothy, yes, agree with you 100%. Something wrong with my coming in at a 10. So I'm 10 pluses all the way. Favorite ride, favorite pavilion, everything about living with the land I love. Let's see, what's Pearl saying? And lately, all the written and verbal warnings after the cucumber incident are kind of distracting and annoying. Yeah, that thing was really annoying. Hey, we got Chris in the house. Welcome to Disney Baker. We're just having some fun here, giving our ratings on Disney attractions. Thank you for being here. Leanne says, had the awesome opportunity to ride with Epcot Bob at our first meeting. That is so cool. Well, I get to ride with you next year. Let's see. Dog out, dog in, dog out. Oh, is you're talking about the barking dog, Tina, I'm assuming. Anyway, well, thank you, Chris. Thank you for stopping by. Right. Yeah, right. I got that wrong, Leanne. It's this year. This year we will ride it together. All right, next ride. Living with the Land is so awesome. All right, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Oh, you're talking about your dog, Tina. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for stopping in, Chris. All right, we have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. We've got Dave coming in with a 10, Stevie Lee at an 8, Timothy Rainwaters at 10, Dave Houston or Dave Houston. Hey, that's confusing. We got Dave Houston and Dre Houston. Dave Houston at 8. We got Dre Houston at 10. And except the long lines, it's a horrendously long line usually. You need fast pass for that one. 8, but short ride with long line. I know. What does it last, Carol? Like a minute? It's really quick. Pearl says 9. Jerry loves it, so I will give it an 8. Okay, well, that one is a very mild roller coaster, but it's cool. It's fun to offer that level, I think. And Nick says 9. Yeah, I would say I give it a 8 as a ride, but when you think about how long you have to usually wait for it, for me, I can miss that one. Next one. Okay. Lisa says 8, but I hate the abrupt stop at the end. I remember that. Yeah, I don't know why Disney can't improve that. So Mission Space, and I'll preface this with saying Mission Space replaced Horizons, the greatest attraction of all time. So what is your rating on Mission Space? I will wait a little bit before I type in mine. We have 8 from Dave. We have -5 from Leanne. That's hard to do, and it's a scale of 1 to 10. Timothy Rainwater's 2. Mission Space -10, says Lisa. 5, says Carol, but I will ride it with my middle daughter because she loves it. Do you guys do the orange or the green? We do green because we can't handle the spinny. Um, Love it because based on NASA. I will say this, Dave. I agree with you in the sense of the queue. I love the queue. I think the queue is great. I wish they still had that actor part of it. What was his name? Dave probably knows. The actor from Apollo 13 that used to be in the pre-show. Stevie Lee says 5, not interested. Dre -10. Made my husband and daughter so sick. Leanna, I think it sent Ed Viapre to the hospital. And I want to say 2 times. Nick says 0. I did not like it at all, and that is on both of them. It made me very sick and felt like my head was going to explode. I've heard that, but I've never gone on the orange. Carol says she did orange, and so you're very brave. I would not. I would not do orange. I can miss Mission Space. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I think Timothy Rainwaters and I had about the same rating on it. 2 for me. Very disappointed. The ride itself is disappointing. The queue is very good. I actually like the queue. And I like the NASA theme. So I'm with you, Dave, on that aspect. All right. Courtney likes it, says Timothy, but Paula does not like it. Feeling closed. Oh yeah, yeah. You do not. You'll get claustrophobia on that one. Okay. So now we have the Pandora Ride. Gary Sinise. Thank you, Dave. I knew you'd know. Gary Sinise, great actor. He was so good in it. I don't dislike the current actors that they replaced him with. I just think, why did they replace him? He was so good. Hey, John, good to have Surf Bum in the house. Um, Okay, I'm embarrassed to ask, what is this Pandora ride again? Gone it. You can see my memory is just slipping. Um, Space Mountain Dave says 10. Timothy says 10. Tina says she also preferred Gary Sinise. 7. It's a beautiful but way too short. Yep. 6 pleasant, but not my fave, says Carol. Whoa, do we just jump? Dre says 10. Awesome. Sooner Girls at 9. Navi River, thank you, Pearl. Um, we've got 9 from Scott Schur, 5 from Stevie Lee, 8 from Pearl Manhattan, and Navi River, Tina's pointing out. Yeah, so I give it probably about a 7 or an 8 because I do think it is a beautiful ride. I'll give it an 8. I'm going to go with Tina on this one because it is beautiful. But other than that, I don't know, it doesn't do a lot for me. It's just they did the colors so well and some of the visual effect I think is pretty cool. Dave Houston saying 9. Um, Nick has never ridden it. Okay. Fairly good score on that one. And I hope we get to the one Nick asked for. Peter Pan's Flight, a classic. How do you rate Peter Pan's Flight? It is a peaceful ride. You'd think, Leanne, that I would like it more. I guess giving it 8 means I like it. So, yeah. I won't wait an hour and a half for it, but I'll go on it if it's reasonable. It was like meditating to me. Yeah, they did really do it very nicely. All right, Peter Pan, we got Leanne at 10. We've got Dave at 7, a little bit lower for Dave. Okay, probably the line weight. Timothy at 10. Yep. Carol at an 8. Joey's World 9, says Lisa. Scott Sure is at a 4. And Mission Space. For some reason, Nick, I was thinking it was a different one. Yeah, right. Dre Houston says 8. Um, all right. For me, Peter Pan, I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. I think that's about right. Tina says 8. All right, very good. I'll keep moving. Stevie Lee says 9. Pirates. Now here's a good question. Dave says 8 on Peter Pan. Pirates of the Caribbean, or Caribbean, I say Caribbean, I'm going to give a 9, but if it was the Disneyland version, I'd give it a 10, 10 plus plus. I think the Disneyland version is better. It has some nicer nice airy moments to it. So I give Pirates a 9 at Disney World and a 10 at Disneyland. Stevie Lee's at a 7. Sooner Girl says 10. 10 for Carol. So much fun. Love the audio and smell. I do have the candle, Carol. You probably can't see it behind me, but I do have one. Dre Houston says 10. Nick says 10. Timothy Rainwater's at a 9. Scott Sure, not wild about Pirates, so he's saying 2. Dave Cantrell saying a 10. Love it. Yep. Dave Houston at a 9. And Tina, 9 for me too. Never seen Disneyland's. Yeah, if you get a chance, I've never. I'm going to take that back. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that they like the Disney World one more. It's the Disneyland one. In fact, I'll mention 2 rides that are definitely better at Disneyland, if not more. Pirates and It's a Small World. It's a Small World has an outdoor segment, and I love that. So Carol has the Pirates candle, the bromine candle. Yeah, that is awesome. I burned that one down, but I saved enough so that I could always have a little smell if I needed one. All right, next. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I see 19 people in the chat. Um, appreciate you being with me. Tomorrow night, I'll be doing the movie Epic Movies with T-Town Mary Ellen and yeah, exactly, John. We're rating rides on a scale of 1 to 10 as I bring them up just to see just for some fun. I explained some things I'm going to be starting in February, but that's all boring stuff. So we're just having a little fun here. So yes, the next ride, Ratatouille. I can't say I have not been on it. How many of you have been on it, and what would you rate it? Or rate it if you haven't been on it, but you think you'd know. Timothy, I think you probably have been on it because I saw you were there. So he says 9. That's good. Good to hear that. Carol's saying haven't ridden. Can't wait. Vehicles are adorable. Yeah, it looks really cool. But yeah, I have not been on that yet. John has not been on it. Dre has not. Oh, I'm surprised, Dre. Dave Houston has not been on it. Dave, it's the Ratatouille ride at Epcot in France. Stevie Lee says 7. I would maybe ride it once or twice. I don't know if it would be something on my list all the time. Yeah, I'm sure for me too. I want to ride it once, just like I rode Mickey's Runaway Railway, but that's not a important ride for me. Tina says never ridden it. Looks like a solid 8. Yeah, you're right, Leanne. It is a scene ride. You do wear 3D glasses, and so they are projecting some of it, but it is still a moving dark ride attraction. So there's a physical, it's not like Star Tours or something like that. So, um, So yeah, I thought that the boarding area looked very cool of it. Nick has not been on it yet. Dave is going to give it a 9, and I call it the rat ride, says Nick. um, John, I had no idea. Oh, when I read that, I read 2009. So he hasn't been there for 3 years. Yeah, well, then you haven't been on it. And then Stevie Lee responding to Nick. Okay, next ride is Rise of the Resistance. So I assume that not all of you have been on Rise of the Resistance. It's relatively new. I have been on it two times. Wow, why can't I remember? Yeah, I've been on it 2 times. We have got 10s coming in. Pearl at a 10. Timothy Rainwaters at a 10. Space Mountain Dave, 10. So far, all 10s. I am going to give it a 10. Dre Houston, never been on it. Well, Dre, you have to go on it. Movie Mania Nick, I cannot wait to ride this. You got to get on it. As I understand it, there's still a standby available, and you don't have to purchase Genie Plus or not Lightning Pass to get on it. Two once more. Not a Star Wars fan. Okay, yeah. 9 says Tina, but it's got too many tech problems to be a 10. I only saw half of it. Wow, no kidding. Didn't they let you come back? That's terrible. Huh. All right. All right. Well, there you go. I would say we're darn near close to a 10, though, on that. As a ride with it completely functioning, it's amazing. Never been anything like that. However, it's not my favorite, and I don't know that it would even be in my top 5. Pearl says it's so much more intense in person. You can't get a good feel from watching it on video. Yeah, it's an experience, and that room alone, right, is so cool. There's an eerie feeling in that room. Okay. All right, the river cruise. I believe that's what you call this. I had not been on it in many, many years. And the last time I was there, I happened to bum a ride with Josh from Resort TV 1, and we hung out. It was during his live stream. And so the river cruise at Magic Kingdom. How many of you like this ride? 9, says Dave. A relaxing ride. I agree. I think I'm with you. I'm with you on the 9. Dre says 7. Timothy 8. Stevie Lee 6. Sooner Girl says 7. Nick's at 8. And like I said, I was 9. It's relaxing, and I'm old, so it's nice. So Carol's saying 8. I'm going to keep moving through this. What time is it? Oh, I only got a couple minutes left. All right. Tina at the 8.5. She loves it. Okay. And Dave Houston's only at a 6. A 6. That's still not bad. All right. Rock and Roller Coaster. I know somebody who loves this ride. My partner, Road Trip Dave. It used to be his favorite ride. I'm not sure if it still is, but I know it used to be. And Dave, I'm not surprised to see you say 10. I'm going to give it a 9. John says 9. I'm sorry, John says 10. Dre says 10. Stevie Lee says 9. I'm at a 9. Dave Houston says 10. This one's doing pretty good. Carol loves it. 10. Super fun. Very cool. Courtney would give it a 10 for myself. Oh, I give it a 10, but for myself, 8. Okay. And then Tina, 7, love roller coasters, but it gives me a headache. Oh, well. Um, it's funny, Tina, because I went on it once and I got off of it and I thought I was a little woozy, but then I did it again and I had no problem with it. So it's that first launch that kind of gets me. Nick says 9. Jerry would give it a 10. So I'm assuming, Leanne, you would not go on it. And uh, I think you did say you're not big on roller coasters. So, all right. Well, how many more do I have? I got 14 people on here. I hate to just leave. We'll try a couple more and we'll call it a night. Is there any ride that somebody was really waiting for me to do? Because I got a lot of them in here. I will be glad to try to jump. Let's see. Oh yeah, Tina says I'm not a loud music fan. I think that's the issue for me. I am not either. I am not a rock and roll guy like that as well. And so, um, but I do love roller coasters. Did we see? Oh, Mary. Hey, Mary, nice to have you here. Mary gives it a 9. Thank you, Mary. Um, all right. Well, let's look at what we got next here. All right, I'm gonna go past that one. I'm gonna go Runaway Railway. Let's do that one. We have not done Tower of Terror yet. Let's do Tower of Terror after Runaway Railway. So, all right, I'm catching up on comments. Leanne says Toy Story Mania is my all-time must-do when at Disney. We should do that one as well. I know I have that in here. And Dre is a loud music fan, so it's her kind of music. Yeah, awesome. Pearl Manhattan says 10 on Runaway Railway. Mary is saying hello. Hi, Mary. And Timothy Rainwaters is a 10. Carol hasn't ridden it yet. Dre at a 10. Dave loves this ride. So he's at 10 pluses. Um, did I miss Rise? Had to take out that. You did, Lisa, but please give us your rating on it. You can imagine it got all 10s and 9s, except for maybe one below that. Nick has not written it yet, but Nick has ridden the Great Movie Ride. So I preferred the Great Movie Ride by a lot. I loved it. I really miss it. And I would take it any day over Runaway Railway, although I do understand it. Runaway Railway is done very well. They did a very good job with it. It's just not my style of ride. And um, so Lisa 8 on Railway, Tina 8 solid ride. It is. It's really done well. And Lisa coming in with the 10 plus 10 plus 10 perfection on Rise of the Resistance. And then John, I'm assuming you mean on Great Runaway, 10. Mary is saying Great Movie Ride was amazing. I haven't been on Runaway Railway. Some people like it better. I'm not one of them. I like Great Movie Ride. I wish they would have switched it some, maybe took out a few of the older movies and put in a few other ones, but oh well. And Dre was thinking of Great Movie Ride. Great Movie Ride was wonderful. It was. It was an experience. It felt like you got to be a part of Hollywood. You were a part of something. I love real people that are involved, with that whole thing. So yeah, I miss Great Movie Ride. Okay, we're gonna try to find Tower of Terror and what was the other one? Oh yeah, Toy Story Mania. Uh, do I have a moderator? I don't have the. Let me see here. Give me a second. Thank you, moderators. Appreciate that. All right. Dave Love, Great Movie Ride. Great Movie Ride says Timothy is a 10. I think we think a lot alike. They should put Runaway Mickey in Magic Kingdom. Agreed, Nick. I do think it is a worthy ride, and that would probably be a better fit. Definitely a better fit for it. I think. Okay. Um, okay. Safari. Gosh, guys, I gotta do Safari because I love Safari. I give it a 10. I'm gonna do a Dave Space Cantrell Dave 10 plus plus plus. I love Safari. Safari will never get old. I love it. Um, 11 says Timothy. Nice. Whoa, we got Mouse Talk in the house. Hello, Walt. Leanne says 10. Kilimanjaro Safari is a 10 for me. Same, Walt. It's it's definitely in my top 5, maybe in my top 3. I love that ride. Dave Houston 10. John Surfbum says 10. Um, let's see, jump in here a bit. Dre says 10. Carol 10. Pearl 8. Joey, it's Lisa saying 10. Dave saying 100. I'm with you, Dave. It's that good. 10 says Tina, great one of a kind ride, never the same ride twice. Exactly. I love that. Um, yeah, Nick, you got a few rides. Well, it'll be awesome. And it's never the same. Yeah, same. Dave, well said. Um, Leanne says, I'm listening while cooking dinner, so I'm not seeing the chat. I just walk over to enter my number. Okay. Hey, that's an idea. We're all busy. We should have ways to participate, like that. Um, well, congratulations on your live stream today. I believe, did I see 400 or 500 people on at one time? Wow, what a day. That's fantastic. And yesterday as well. Okay, next ride. I'm gonna skip some. Never mind. Let's do Slinky. Got a few people here. Let's do Slinky Dog. How do you like Slinky Dog? I'm gonna say Slinky. I'm gonna give it just an 8. For me, it's it's a smooth roller coaster. It's just not one that. Walt saying, yes, team, we had almost 600 watching, which was amazing. Very blessed. Yeah, it was great. Wow, I couldn't believe it. I went on this morning briefly, and um, Mary's saying she saw 400 to 500. Great job, Walt, Melissa. You guys are awesome. We just love the fact that you're doing so well. Carol says 8 on Slinky. Dave Houston 10. Nice. Dre is a 10. John is at 7. Tina 9. So cute. Lisa's at 9. Slinky is a 10 for me too. Maybe my favorite ride at Hollywood Studios. Awesome. And Mary has not been on it yet. Oh yeah, it's a definite must do. And Space Mountain Dave is at 10. Lisa says Slinky is pretty creative with the space they used and the second launch. Yeah, that's a really good point. Timothy's at a 10. Nick has not been on it yet. Yep, Nick, you got to get there very soon. All right, next ride. It's a Small World. Got to put it up there, folks. I'm going to give the same thing I did for Pirates. 9 at Disney World and 10 for Disneyland. That's just been my feeling on the matter. How do you like It's a Small World? Is it worth your time? Timothy Rainwater's coming in with a 9, and that's what I give it for Disney World. Disneyland, and they've got that the light show thing at Disneyland that makes it really cool as well. Dave Houston coming in with 10 pluses. 9 due to nostalgia, says Leanne, so very favorable. Walt says 8 for us. It's really grown on us over the years. We enjoy it. Yeah, 8 is solid. Lisa's saying 8. John's at a 6 with it. Hey, we got Team Snagging Whiskers. Nice to have you here. Gives it a 9. Hopefully I said that. Team Snagging Whiskers. That's a cool name. Carol says 10. memories of childhood to share with my kids. Carol, I have video of my daughter singing on that ride, and I love that aspect of it. Tina says, 6, I don't ride it that long. That song, oh yeah, but wonderful for children. Dre, 10 for the memories. I saw it with my mom and dad in 64. Holy buckets. Wow. Dave says 8 on Small World. Uh, Nick is 10 for the art and animatronics, but 0 for the music. Yeah, people just don't want to get that in their heads. And Leanne agreeing, do love the Disneyland's version better. It is better, I think. Uh, did I miss somebody? Sean. Is Sean team Snag and Whiskers? If I don't know that I've met you before. Thanks for coming by. We're just having some fun here. As long as people are sticking around, I just decided I'll stay on as well. Soren used to be my favorite. And for those of you who don't know, um, for those of you who do know, I apologize. I say this all the time. Epcot Bob and I and his sons made a homemade Soren in his pole barn, and it was pretty cool. And if you want to see it on YouTube, type in Minicot, and you will see that video. Oh, okay. Joy S's brother. Nice to meet you as well. Yeah, Joy's new newly listed on the live place, and of course I see her all the time now. So nice to meet you. Timothy coming in at a 10 with Soren. I'm at a 10 as well. Carol, 10 if no feet. Oh, I see. You want to be on the top row. Yeah, that's nice, but um, I've gotten to where I can ignore that now. Nick is at a 9. Dave loves Soren. Um, Soren 9 now 7. She's saying, "Oh, I got you. The original. Yeah, I agree with Lisa on that. I think the original video is a little bit better, and the reason why is because it was all real. They didn't do any CGI, which they did with the second one, and I'm just not a big CGI fan. Avoid it if you can." John says 10. Dave Houston's at 10. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, it was memory. It was. Can you believe that was over? That was about 13 years ago we did that. Tina at 8.5. The bent screen and lack of smells, so not as good as before. That was a 10. Yeah, agreed. It definitely lost the sense, I think. So, um, the best position is Concourse B, first row. You got it on the nose, Timothy. Yes, if you are in that position, you are in the best one. We do have a Soarin'-like ride here in Minneapolis at the Mall of America. It's not bad. If any of you come, I always extend this invitation. Let me know. I'll meet you there and we'll ride it together. Okay, I might skip past some here. Space Mountain we got to do because we got Dave on here. I wonder what Dave will say for Space Mountain. Um, for me, it's a solid 10. Space Mountain is a fantastic ride. It's just one that you can ride it 2, 3 times. You love it every time. It's so thrilling. I'm a solid 10 on Space Mountain. We've got Carol loving 10, love that it is in the dark. Timothy at a 9. Nick at 9. Oh, the ride is hard on your back, John. Yeah, I have heard people say that. Um, so that would be a problem. For Walt, it's a 9. Um, Walt, what was Tower of Terror? That was the ride that you got challenged to go on during that when they were raising funds or something. Okay. uh, Nick, it is cool when the lights are on. You know what? I need a drink of water, but I was going to say, I've been taken off that ride before and it's great. I wish that's an experience you just got to have. Oh, surprise! Space Mountain Dave coming in at 1 billion. Well, Walt, I won't do Tower of Terror. I've done it twice. Never do it again. I get so sick on that ride. Um, Tina saying 9, coincidental Disney, but my back was ruined for the rest of the trip. Ooh, boy, see, now that's 2 of you already. Um, Tina says Tower of Terror was Walt's nemesis. Didn't you do it like twice or something, Walt? Why? I Not for me. Sorry. Dave loves Tower of Terror. Tower of Terror is Jerry's favorite. Interesting. Let's see if I can find Tower of Terror. Spaceship Earth. Hey, LSU mom. Nice to have you here, Emily. Everybody say hi to Emily. Nice to have you here. Um, we're just rating rides on a scale of 1 to 10. I was going to be done about 15 minutes ago, but this has been kind of fun. So, oh, okay. Back on the iPhone. All right. 4 times. I did it 2 times that day for the fundraiser for Pete. Man, you're very brave. Um, yeah, you wonder, Timothy, how could Dave rate it so high? Well, he is the Space Mountain Man. All right, Tina, I love it. Spaceship Earth 10. It is in my top 3 rides. In fact, um, Spaceship Earth, Living with the Land, and just so you know, People Mover, TTA. Those are my top 3. I put Safari in there in the top 5. But all right, so Spaceship Earth, we've got Sooner Girl at 10. We've got Timothy Rainwaters at 10, Carol at 10, Dre at 10, Lisa's at a 10. Guys, Spaceship Earth is a 10 for me and a 20,000 for Melissa. It's her favorite in Epcot by far. Top 5 overall in all of Disney for her. I'm with Melissa on this one. It is a wonderful ride, and if they ever get rid of it, I will cry my eyes out. Space Mountain Dave's got it at a 10. That's awesome. Can somebody block out that troll? Thank you. All right. Next. Tina's saying she wishes they'd smooth out the track. It doesn't. I just wish they'd smooth out the track. It doesn't need changing, or oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Not rethemed. Oh, well, this is what I would do, Tina, is I would change the very top. You know how Earth is very small, and the music is wonderful. It crescendos up there, and it's I think it's the best part. But the Earth is too small. They should make that an overwhelming space scene and use technology like the projection technology to do more. That's what I would do, and that way they could refurbish it without bringing it down. But yeah, like Walt is saying, and you're saying, the track needs an update, but not the scenes. I wouldn't change any of the scenes as you're going up. Would you guys change the thing going down, or do you like that? Um, well, let's go to the next one here. We're gonna go past Splash. I'm sorry, Star Tours. Oh, how y'all feeling about Test Track? Um, I gotta say, for me, Test Track is a solid 9. I think I preferred the original Test Track. The new one's good too, but I think the original Q was a lot better. Um, but I think is Leanne saying 4 on Test Track, Nick's at a 10. Carol's at a 7. We're kind of all over the board here on this one. John's at 8. Emily's at a 10. Test Track is a 5 for us. Not a big fan. It's just okay. Yeah. Dre is at an 8. No, the rest is fine, but you can change Earth a little, I guess. Yeah, I would make it, you know how you see some of those space, when they're outside of the Hubble, or not the Hubble, but the space station, and you see Earth so big. That's what I would do if they asked me. They didn't ask me though. No, the rest is fine. Oh yeah, we already said that. 9 for Dave on Test Track. Okay. Timothy, 10. Need for Speed. Yep. Scott Schur coming in at a 3. Um, Tina at 7. Dave Houston's at an 8. And did I miss any? Emily, did I mention you said you're at a 10 with Test Track? So that's cool. It's fun to get to know what you guys like. If I ever link up with you now, I'll know what you want to go do. All right, next. I may skip. I'm going to skip Three Caballeros. We already did that one. There we go. Tower of Terror. Here it is. Let's have it, folks. We're going to be all over the board on this one. Tower of Terror. What do you give Tower of Terror? And I'm going to be bold and just tell you I'm a 3. I give it a I just it's just a personal thing. I get very sick on Tower of Terror. I think the theming is amazing. The queue's fun. I actually went in line with Jim of More Sunshine and my brother just so that I could be with them, but then I took the chicken door out. Timothy is a 10 for Tower of Terror. Dre is 10. Tina, 10. Love all of it. Emily at a 10. Nick is at a 7. Carol is at a 5 for the drops, 10 for the theming. See, I'm for the drops, I'm a 1. I mean, I just can't handle it. I'm glad they did not change the theme like they did at Disneyland. Yeah, I've never even watched any video of the Disneyland one. I know it's themed to that. Why can't I think of that movie with what's his name? Joey 9, but has an amazing queue and storyline. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Okay. I'm getting strange people trying to join the chat. Sorry. Dave Houston says 10. Um, Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah. Um, the drops have never bothered me anyway, says Timothy. I wish I could say the same. I mean, everybody else seems fine with it, but for whatever reason, I just cannot handle it. All right. Well, let's pick 10 for Dave on Tower of Terror. Going to find one last ride, and then we'll call it a night. Thanks for hanging out with me. Oh, here it is. It's the one that I think Leanne wanted. So Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania. Two Real Geeks and Ryan Schoenfeld. Holy cats, look at that. Everybody welcome in Ryan Schoenfeld and Danny from Two Real Geeks. Good to have you here. We're just having some fun, rating some rides, and it's time to rank the last ride, which is going to be Toy Story Mania. And Dave says 9, it's fun. I'm going to go 8 on it, and I think it's a great ride and it's fun. I only have one thing that I don't like about it, and that is that when I'm trying to pull that thing to get as many points as I can, I find it's kind of more than I want to do on a ride, if you know what I'm saying. So Leanne is saying it's her favorite competition ride, so you must have a good wrist. Lisa says 10 because I always win. Oh, you do? Ooh. Can't let Joey and Keith. I bet they're upset about that. Nice to have you here, Ryan. Thank you. Emily, 10 and a half. She loves it. Awesome. Nick has never been on it. Nick, I think we're going to make a list and we're going to send you to Disney World. You got to get over there. Joey's World, Lisa saying 3 for my arm afterwards. That's for me. I just, for whatever reason, that ride gets the best of me. Tina says 8 for fun, but all the spinning with the 3D glasses makes me dizzy. Yeah, and because of, for me being a little bit older, it's just, that's more than I want to do. Dave Houston at an 8, Dre at 10, Carol, 10, because we love to compete and have to ride at least twice. Agree that the ball and string pull thing is annoying. I think so too. I wish they would have made that. I get it. You can't, you got to limit the shooting somehow, but to me, that was just too much. um, Danny says, thanks for that. Sorry, we've been missing in action, but finally settled in and just started a new job here in Orlando. Oh, I thought you were already very settled into Orlando. What job it is will be dropped soon, but that video will be universal. Haha. Well, I'll try not to read too much into that. That's awesome, though. Very cool. All right. Well, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for spending some time with me. For those of you who don't know this, my family has been through some very big challenges this year, and we had some very good news today. It has been regarding my son. He has had gone through some a difficult year, and today he's doing really well. And so it was a very good day. I did want to share that. I haven't really come out and shared a lot of details about it, but in the last year, I would say this has been one of the best days that we've had. And yeah, thanks, Leanne. Leanne is she prays for me a lot, and we've needed it. And it's been a very difficult year, but we had a really good day. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Yeah. I don't know. Someday, Carol, thank you. Great news about your son. This was fun, Dean. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was actually, Dre, thank you very much. You all have been so supportive. Timothy, Rainwaters, thank you. Thank you guys for all the prayers. Tina, I'm so glad, Dean, many prayers answered. Yeah. Um, maybe someday I'll share more about it. We've been kind of purposely keeping a lot of it under lid, but it's been very difficult, and sometimes you really do get to the end of yourself, and you realize there's only so much you can do, and then God can step in, and he can do anything, but he definitely did something wonderful, and it's still a long road ahead. Nothing's um, it's not over, and it's still something we have to keep walking through. But today was a good day. That's all I'll say. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Lisa, thank you very much. Thank you, Nick. Glad you enjoyed it. Nice to have you here. Thank you all. Have a great night. I'm going to end the broadcast, and tomorrow night, again, reminder, be live at I think it's 8 o'clock Eastern time. um, that T-Town Mary Ellen and Talking Mickey project, which is Kevin and Emma, are going to join me, and we're going to be talking about epic movies. If any of you want to, please let me know if you want to join us. There's plenty of room. Um, just come ready to talk about your favorite epic movies. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Emily. Nice to have you here. Right, Leanne, if you get trolls, maybe that's a good sign. Emily, thank you. Timothy, good to have you here. Dave, always a pleasure. Tina, thank you very much. I know you're always watching, and I appreciate it. Ready to play some theme park trivia again. Yeah, I would love to do that. I got to do that again pretty soon. I wish I would have gotten a notification. This was fun. Thank you, Emily. I enjoyed it too. I really did. Thank you, Dre. I appreciate you. Tina. Yes, thank you, moderators. Thank you very much. Dave, looking forward to it. All right. Thank you, Dave. Pleasure to have you all here. Have a good night. Look at the camera, Dean, and say good night. Good night, everybody. Take care. Oh, and my partner channels, I always like to mention Resort TV One, Road Trip Dave, Rob Fuzz, and A Disney Life for Me, Miguel and Daniela. John, nice to have you here. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.